Good morning, class. Okay, so before we start our lesson, I want you to take out your textbook and put it on your table. Okay, because for today's lesson, we're going to use the textbook and I want you to have your textbook ready. Okay, so to start our lesson, let's have a little chat. Okay, so do you have any plans for the upcoming school break? You want to visit your hometown? Okay. You want to go to the beach? Okay, so let me write it down. I want to go to the beach. Okay, so next, what else? Want to go to the zoo, right? Okay, so let's take a look at these two sentences here. Okay, so I want to go to the beach. I want to go to the zoo. So let me put some situation in there. So if it rains, will you still go to the beach? No, right? Okay, so if it's sunny, will you go to the beach? Of course, because people go to the beach when it's sunny or when the weather is clear. Now, the second sentence, I want to go to the zoo. Let's say if you are sick, will you go to the zoo? No, right? So what do you do if you're sick? Very good, you stay at home. So now let's try to put it together into a sentence, okay? If it rains, will you or will you not go to the beach? You will not, okay? So I will not go to the beach. Okay. Now the second sentence, if you are sick, will you still go to the zoo? No. So if I am sick, I will not go to the zoo. So what do you do when you're sick? You stay at home. So if I am sick, I will stay at home. Okay. So now there are three sentences here. So in all of the sentences, there are situations and a result of the situations. So can you tell me which one is the situation and which one is the result? Can anyone try? For the first sentence, which one is the situation and which one is the result? Very good. So if it rains is the situation and I will not go to the beach is the result. Okay? It means that if it rains, the result is I will not go to the beach. The second sentence, very good. If I am sick is the situation. The result of being sick is that I will not go to the zoo. Okay, so this is the situation and this is the result. The third one, yes, it's the same. If I am sick is the situation and I will stay at home is the result. Okay, you understand so far? Okay, so these sentences is what we call as first conditional. This is what we're going to learn for today's lesson. We're going to learn about first conditional. So now open up your textbook, page 57. I want you to look at the table over here. Okay? Alright? Inside this table is the example sentence of the first conditional. If you notice, it's the same as the one on the board. There is a situation and there is a result. Okay? The situation, if we use too much water for washing, the result is we won't have enough to drink. Right? Okay, I'm going to put up a poster and I want you to look carefully at the poster, alright? Okay, can everyone see the poster clearly? Those at the back? Alright, so let me explain to you what first conditional is. Okay? So we use first conditional to talk about a situation and result that will happen in the future. Okay? First conditional is used to talk about actions or events or situations that might happen in the future. For example, if you look at these sentences, okay, if it rains, I will not go to the beach. This is talking about the future because this is not talking about something that is happening right now. It's talking about the future because you don't know if it will rain or if it will not rain. So it's something that might happen in the future. So you use first conditional to talk about this future. Okay? Okay, so look at the example in the poster. It's very similar to the example on the board. It says, if it's hot tomorrow, I will go to the beach. As usual, there is a situation and also there is a result. So there are two parts in a sentence, okay? The situation and the result. This is what we call as clause. Okay, so there are two clauses in the first conditional sentence. Situation clause and the result clause. Do you understand so far? Okay, so first conditional have how many clauses? Two. Okay, what are the clauses? Situation and results. Very good. Okay, so far, the examples that I've given, I only put the situation clause in front and then only I will put the result clause. But in the table, inside the textbook, if you notice the second example, the result clause is in front and the situation clause is at the back. And the one on the poster is the same as well. The situation is at the back and the result is in the front. Okay, so the position is switched, which means you can put the situation clause in front and then followed by the result clause, or you can put the result clause in front and the situation clause at the back. Okay, because it means the same thing. It doesn't change the meaning. Also, when you change the position of the clause, there will be a slight change. Okay, if you put the situation first, it will always start with if, and the clauses will be separated by a comma. If it rains, comma, I will not go to the beach. Okay, but if you switch it, I will not go to the beach if it rains. See, there's no comma. So that is the difference. When you switch the position, there is no comma. Okay, so that is the only difference that you need to remember. Okay, so now what are the grammar rules? Okay, I'm going to teach you the rules of the first conditional. The rule is very simple. For the situation clause, you will have if plus subject plus present simple tense. And for the result clause, we use future simple, which is subject plus will verb. Okay, don't worry, if you don't understand the formula or the rule, all you need to understand is there are 4 rules of first conditional, okay? The first one, we use first conditional to talk about the possible situations that might happen in the future. The second one, there are 2 clauses in the first conditional sentence, which is situation and result. Okay, the third one, the position of these clauses can be switched. Okay, which means you can put the situation in front or at the back. Okay, and the last one that you need to remember is for situation clause, it will always have if in the sentence, and for the result clause, it uses future simple, which is the verb will, which means you can use either will or will not, can or cannot, may or may not. But for today's lesson, we're going to focus on using the will or will not, okay? Because I don't want to confuse you with more rules. Okay, so now those are the 4 things that you need to remember, okay? Okay, so now let's test if you do truly understand. I will write 3 sentences and you need to complete it using the first conditional rule, okay? Okay, so the first sentence, if I have a lot of money, can anyone try and complete the sentence? If I have a lot of money, what will happen? What is the result? Remember to use will or will not, okay? If I have a lot of money, you will buy a car. Very good. You will buy a car. Okay, so the second sentence. If I fail this English test, what will happen? What is the result? Your mom will get angry. Okay, that is very good, okay? Last sentence. I will be happy if... Okay, if you notice, I change the position. Okay, I started with result clause first. I will, and the if is at the back, which means this should be the situation. Okay, so I will be happy if you have a lot of money. Okay, that is very good. Alright, so now for the activity, okay, we're going to do 2 writing activity. Okay, the first one is individual and the second one is pair work. But for now, let's focus on the first activity. Okay, so for the first activity, I want you to look at your textbook, the same page 57. Okay, I want you to complete activity 2 by yourself, okay? You copy this on your notebook and you need to match number 1 until 5 with A until E to make sentences. You need to complete the sentences by matching them. Okay, let's try to do the first one together so you understand how to do it. Okay, so the first one, if you go to the space station, what will happen? Which one is the most likely to happen? The answer is C, right? This is the most suitable one. The journey will take 2 days. Okay, so if you go to the space station, the journey will take 2 days. So this is how you do this activity, okay? You copy everything first inside your notebook, and then you complete the sentence by matching them together. Okay, put them in one sentence, one complete sentence. Okay, can you do that? Okay, you can start now. Alright, for the second activity, this is a pair work. Okay, so you will work with the person seated next to you. Okay, so that is your partner. Okay, so I want you to complete activity 3. Okay, so for activity number 2 just now, you do it individually and your task is to match, right? To complete the sentence. But for activity 3, you need to complete the sentence with your own idea, with your own sentence. Okay, you can discuss with your partner and come up with an idea on how to complete the sentence, but make sure you use the first conditional rule. You have to have a situation and also a result. For example, if I live to the age of 150, okay, so my answer is, I will be bored because I've lived too long. Okay, 150 is a very long time to live. Okay, so that is the example. So make sure you discuss together with your pair, and then we can listen to your ideas together as a class. Alright, so you can start now. Okay, so for the last activity, we're going to play a game. Okay, we're going to play a board game. A board game. Sounds interesting, right? Sounds fun. Okay, this is a group work, so I will need to divide you into groups first before we start. Alright, so is everyone in their group? Okay, settle down please. Alright, I want you to listen carefully to the instructions so everyone understand how to play this game. Can you see this board? Okay, so I will distribute this board to each group. Okay, so each group will get one board, and I will also give you dice. Okay, dices. And for the pieces, you can use whatever you want. Okay, you can use your coins, you can use your eraser, or you can use your keychain. Anything. Okay? The rule is very simple. Have you ever played board games before? Yes, you roll the dice and move your pieces. That is the general rule. But for this board game, it is related to the first conditional that we have learned. Inside all of these squares is a sentence that you need to complete. Okay, I'll show you an example. Okay, so I'm going to roll a dice. Okay, so the number is 3. So let me use my marker as a piece, okay? I'll move 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it landed on the third square. If I have, okay, so I need to complete the sentence to be able to move forward and for the next person to take their turn. Okay, so if I have a lot of money, I will buy an aeroplane. Is the sentence correct? Did I use the first conditional rule correctly? Okay, so if everyone approves, then the next person can take their turn. Okay, and the game will end if someone landed on the finish square or get past the finish square. Okay, so that is how you play the game and how you end the game. Right? So do you understand? Okay, please remember to use the first conditional rule to complete the sentences, and for each group member, please remind the group member as well. And if your friend is struggling to finish, you have to help them. Okay, this is a teamwork, this is a group work, so make sure everyone works together so that the game will end successfully. Okay, don't worry, I will monitor each group from time to time and I will assist you if you need. So I will give the board now and you can start playing. Alright, so does everyone have fun? Okay, so I'm very glad. Okay, so what do you learn for today? What have you learned? First conditional. Okay, so what is first conditional? You use it for talking about possible situation in the future. Very good. So, how many clauses are there in first conditional? 2 clauses. What are they? Situation and result. So what is in situation clause? If plus present simple tense. Very good. And for result clause. What should be in there? Future simple, you should use future simple and the verb, okay, the will verb. Will or will not. What else do you learn? How about the position? Can you change the position of the clauses? Right, very good. If you change the position, what happens? There's no comma, right? If you put the situation in front, it will start with if. Will there be a comma? Yes, the clause will be separated by a comma. But if you put the result clause first, there will be no comma. Very good. Okay, so that's the activities today help you to understand the past conditional. How about the board game? So do you have any questions to ask before we end the class? No? Okay, if there's no question, the class is dismissed. Thank you.